And in yet another story, a man is accused in court for taking the spirit of somebody hostage, and they have to appear in court, and the woman's corpse is brought, and the is it called? Can we say the presiding magistrate actually tells this man on pain of imprisonment, immediate imprisonment, to bring back this woman's spirit from where he's hiding it. And so the back and forth of this talk. So is it possible to actually control somebody's spirit, that which is all powerful, the light of the body? Is it possible to keep somebody's spirit under bondage somehow? So I don't know what you think about this.
I find this very interesting. Is this an actuality that's happening in a court in Africa?
An actuality.
Well, that's very interesting. This is fun. They're moving a step beyond, aren't they, with things? And this kind of parallels the Eckankar thing too. And they actually, yes. This is, as you listen to the experiences that people have, yes, there is a bondage there because people are in agreement with being bonded and trapped and tap-lined. That is what is taking place. See, again, look at the world. We're being marketed to think that this world is more important than the isness life is. And so people are agreeing to it, and they're agreeing to the unconscious control, allowing others to do it. Just the God idea is an example, which has been around all the time. When people are praying and worshiping to a God, what they're doing is they're agreeing to be bonded, you see? And the monetary system is a really good example of slavery. It is promoted as something beneficial, and people chase it. They want money, they want a better lifestyle, but it is actually bondage. The people, the individuals that created the monetary system, they created it for one purpose only, and that was to enslave everybody, to where they think that, we can exchange money now and blah, blah, blah. We don't have to trade or do all these things. Well, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. It's how you use the money and the idea behind it. But the creators of the money, their idea behind creating the money was so that they could, again, they're creating it. They get others to agree. And what everybody doesn't see is that they think this is a good idea. Most people think it's a good idea because you can see everybody chasing it. From everything that's going on in the world, it's all about money. That comes first. Oh, I need money for this. I need money to do that, whatever. Yeah, like me, pay the rent or invest in stocks or buy my car. Yeah, we need money to do all these things. Actually, we don't. But it's an agreement that's taken place. And actually, the idea of money is to steal a person's labor, because they have to go out and work for that money. And what do? They put it back in the system. And those that created the money, well, see, they can create as much as they want, so they get what they want built without providing their labor. They just create the money so they can have their buildings and their palaces and their airplanes and their armies. They just print the money, and today it's all computer money. All they do is push a button, it's in the bank, and then they transfer it to some other bank or to the military bases and say, okay, let's build more tanks and bombs and whatever. See, just a push of a button to them. But everybody else has to labor. It's their life and their labor that they're providing. And so this is all enslavement, is what it is. And so, yes, it's all around, Charles. It's actually all around, but it's become, a defined standard that, oh, this is how things are. Just like the chemtrails in the sky and the HARP and the vaccines and the GMO food, it's all become a standard. It's all become a standard to where everything's poisoned, and it's like, okay. And yeah, this is the agreed upon bondage and slavery. It's the same thing that's happening in that little courtroom, and many like it. But for the most part, the reality of it is not really presented and focused upon. You just got a lot of foo-foo stuff going on. And really, in the courtroom, it's not about even the laws they create, which are all restrictions, absolute all restrictions. No bird that exists needs the laws that man has made. They're all just restrictions. And really, courtrooms are procedures. See, that's what they like to go upon as procedures. They create the laws for one reason, and that is actually the judges don't want to hear about the law, because that's not the idea. They didn't create the law so that they can hear about it. No, they created the laws to control others, and so they do courtroom procedures, and the laws only are according to those that are to be encumbered by them, not by those that created them. And so, yes, your question entails everything that we're experiencing here in creation, absolutely everything, because it's all about agreement. And look at what you're agreeing to, you see? Even though the system looks good and the monetary, you work. Why do you work? To make money. So you're chasing the money too. We all do chase the money. But it's waking up to this. So we are part of the system, which is okay. It's all okay. It's a hindrance, but realistically, those that are aware enough, they don't agree to it. Even though they do work the system, okay, we work within the system, it's not about our real awareness agreeing to it. So those that do, to where they see this is all there is, well, they have decided to hinder themselves with that agreement. So this is where little by little, as we wake up, eventually we can get to the point to where you don't need the monetary system, you don't need anything, and you can surpass creation altogether. So it's going through this process. But in the meantime, you see the world, it has decided to hinder itself. This is where it's unconsciously destroying itself. And again, the real side experiences that are showing up with people are awesome. And just even the one that yesterday, and I would suggest listening to the recording. And we've had it many times. We're being shown by the boys, Rivasar and the boys, what's going on, what's taking place, what's coming up. Because, see, they see the cause and effect of things. They see what's happening in creation. And this, again, is where I really suggest learn to recognize the isness, to where you really do recognize it. And it's not a belief. It has nothing to do with that. It's not. It's like, oh, I believe in the isness. No, it's not that. That's not recognition. And so again, but the whole world is there, Charles. It's everywhere. Yeah, it's not just in that little courtroom process and the controlling of another individual. What there is some kind of agreement, and there's also unawareness. And most people will agree to anything because they're not aware of how things work. So this is where we, when you get up and start to really live your life and start to confront and look at everything that's taking place all of a sudden, because everything in creation is to spark your awareness. So even a Hurricane Harvey that's going through, all those people, it's bad, it's disastrous, but it's a huge wake-up. It's all part of the wake-up because people are confronting themselves. This is what they don't see. When I see creation, I'm part of creation here too. I'm deciding certain things. I'm deciding the projects and many things, you see. And I have to face that too. I have to deal with that. And I'm willing to do it with what I've created. But the interesting thing is that what most people have created, they don't recognize what they're creating. and they're not interested in confronting it and waking up to what they're really doing. That becomes the difference. So they are the unconscious effect of what they are creating, and they're agreeing to things that really they want nothing to do with, especially when it comes around and it does become the effect. So yes, that's about everybody, isn't it?